YouTube, what's new? So, what's new with me? You might notice, that's an awkward thing for me to do, but you might notice I'm in a different location. Well, that's because the lighting in my bedroom is horrible, so I'm in my family's living room. Initially, I wasn't gonna make a video today, but as I was studying for the bar, I realized something about myself that I wish I could have applied the first time I studied for the bar, but I really couldn't because I was doing classes. So I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to be some obvious advice, and that's to get sleep. Obvious advice, right? Get sleep. However, when I was first studying for the bar exam, my first time through, I would get sleep. I would sleep from like 11 at night to when I had to wake up, or even earlier, because at the end of the day, I'd be so tired. And sleeping at night doesn't always help. Like, I have noticed as I've gotten older, I like to take naps. I may be alone in that, but naps are great. So, as I was studying today, I was going over something real boring. I don't like property law. And that's what we were going over today for bar review, is property law. I find it so boring, and the more boring I find a subject, the more likely I am to either zone out or get sleepy, because it's like just the drone on and on and on. And the lectures are great, but a lot of them have like no personality. And when they have no personality, it's very hard to stay engaged with them, especially when you're watching at home. So I was going on, and it was after lunch. I'd already done my morning session. It was after lunch. And I've noticed this, after lunch you get tired. So I was tired. I was studying an area of law that I find very boring and very dry. And the lecture was very monotone, and I wasn't enjoying the lecture. So I was like, I'm at home. I don't have to follow a live stream. I can pause. So I did probably the smartest thing I've ever done while studying, and it was pausing the live stream, or pausing the video. And I took a 30-minute nap, which according to Dr. Mike is the required nap to like, is like the suggested time to like reinvigorate yourself. That's a bad choice of words. Is the suggested amount of time to like re-energize yourself, right? And so I did that, and then I knocked it out. It is later than intended because it's like nighttime right now, and usually I film these in the middle of the day, but it's nighttime, which is why I'm in a room with better lighting than my bedroom. So yeah, if you can, pause and sleep if you're getting tired, because naps, we say they're bad as adults, but they're really not, in my opinion. So yeah, I took a nap, and it was probably the smartest decision I made, because I was zoning out, I was getting tired, I was like falling asleep, I was having to replay stuff. And so finally I decided to pause it completely, take a nap, and then come back to it, and it was so helpful. Now here's the thing with that. You can only do this if you're not going to the lecture and sitting down. There's pros and cons to actually going to a physical lecture and sitting down and either seeing it through a live stream or seeing it in person. And one of the pros to seeing it in person and seeing the live stream and sitting at a desk is you're at a desk, you're in a school environment. Cons are you cannot control how fast or slow it goes. You cannot control if you're going to get sleepy during it. And then you're going to have to end up rewatching the lecture that is on your thing anyways, because you missed out because you slept. I don't know if this happens to everybody, but it's something that happened to me a lot during law school. Even is I would get tired during class, no matter how much sleep I got. And so I got tired today, and I was able to pause and rest, and then come back and really actually take in the information, instead of just like it kind of seeping into my brain and then me forgetting what was being said because I was sleepy. So yeah, if you get tired, and if you're doing it at home, whether it's like through Themis, because I don't know exactly how Themis works. I think you get the lectures online. I don't really know. But if you're doing it at home and you're not going to a class, you didn't sign up to actually go to a building and sit down at a desk, if you're doing it at home, take advantage of that, because not only can you change how you study, like I'm able to study early because I'm studying at home instead of having to wait until next week to go. But because I'm studying at home, I don't have to wait. But also, I'm studying at home, so when I get tired, I don't have to try to power through my tiredness. I can let myself sleep, get more energy, and then come back more energized than I was before. And I found that really helpful, so I plan on implementing that later on, because for me, I found that at the end of studying for the bar exam the first time, I got tired a lot more than at the beginning, because I was a lot more excited at the beginning. At the end, it was really a push, and they say it's a marathon, not a sprint, and they say that about law school too. But with the bar exam, it feels like you want to make it a sprint because you're doing it in such a small amount of time, but it is really a marathon, so you have to be able to pace yourself. And one of the things that helps me pace myself is the fact that I get to choose to take a nap. And it's such a small thing. Sorry about that. It's such a small thing that I didn't realize that I needed it until it actually became important. And I actually was able to say, oh, I'm getting tired. I need to stop and take a break, because the breaks are built in. You don't get to say, oh, I'm tired now, I want to take a break. The lecture will keep on going. So yeah, I find studying at home may be a better choice for me than going to a class, but I did like the structure of a class because I had just finished law school. Like most people, you take the bar immediately after you graduate. Some people do it in February if you're in law school and you do that and you pass. Kudos to you, because I couldn't fathom trying to study for the bar exam while also focusing on my classes my third year. So yeah, I really enjoyed that right after law school because it kept me in the study mindset, but I've been out of law school now a half a year. So I'm not in the school mindset, and I've always studied differently than what you probably should study. I always find myself more focused when I am in my room. I said I would go out and like go into the library or to a coffee shop, and I may still do that. I don't know, because right now studying in my room is working for me, and when I did it during my first time studying the bar exam, I found myself a lot more focused when I was at home studying rather than when I had to go somewhere. And I don't know why that is. If someone knows, can you tell me? But I found myself more focused today, say, than when I studied property the last time. So we'll see how it goes. I'll try to go somewhere, but probably not until after Christmas, so in the new year. Because, fun fact, I'm starting to study early. The Barbary lesson plan starts on December 23rd. That's the week of Christmas. I mean, there's not an issue with it, but that's the week of Christmas. But that's not the only reason why I started studying early. I'm starting to study early because I know for me, I need more time. And that's one thing that you don't know the first time you go through is how much time you actually need to be able to process all the material you're going through. Because Barbary is a pretty fast paced. It goes pretty fast. You're getting lectures every day, sometimes 2 a day. Sometimes they're not related at all, which can be really hard. And one thing I do like about how at least these first few lessons are done is we're doing real property and then we're doing oil and gas, which is related to real property. And I appreciate that because the first time I took this course, they were so far spread apart that it was hard for my brain to make the connections from oil and gas that could apply to real property, because a lot of oil and gas law deals with real property because mineral rights are part of real property, because you can do all this stuff. So yeah, the main reason I sat down to make this video today instead of doing it tomorrow is because I wanted to talk about the fact that I took a nap today and I really enjoyed it, and it was more beneficial to me than just powering through and trying to stay awake. And it makes me wonder, if I was able to do this the first time I took the bar exam, if that would have changed my outcome. And part of me thinks that, yeah, it probably would have, but I won't know till, I guess, I get my results for the February bar exam. Wish me luck. So yeah, I was able to take a nap today, and I feel like that's an okay thing to do. I don't really know, but I feel like it's an okay thing to do because it helped me in the end retain more material than before. So yeah, it's all about if you can retain the material. I mean, one thing that I was told going into law school is don't change how you study, don't change what you know works for you. And one thing I know works for me is staying awake, which means if I need to take a nap, I should probably take a nap. Like in college, I would take a nap in the middle of the day all the time in order to be able to get through my afternoon classes, because I took mostly morning classes, which was helpful for me. But being able to take a nap was super helpful for me. And that's one thing I didn't really do in law school, because you don't have the time to do that in law school, and especially your 1L year. So I had to change what made me comfortable in learning, and I'm wondering if that also affected law school for me, but at this point I won't ever know. So yeah, I'm hoping this will be beneficial to me. I think it will, because like I said, I retained information way better afterwards and than I did beforehand after taking the nap. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you, because even during law school, you're getting told so much advice, and I want this advice to be applicable like in law school as well as just during the bar exam, because you're told so much advice during law school. And I'm going to do a video on this eventually, about advice you get from amazing people who graduated with Order of the Coif and people like me. My advice is going to be different than theirs. It's going to have the same outcome and the same goal, but it's going to be a bit different because I followed that advice and didn't do well. Let's be real. I did not graduate top of my class or anything. And I don't think that correlates with if you pass the bar or not. I think you're more likely to, but I don't think it's a guarantee. And that's just from people I know who did really well in law school, who didn't pass the bar exam, and people who did. So yeah, that's what I got for you today. Take a nap. Don't change your study habits. And even if you do, try not to, or try to get them back to where they were, because you know what's good for you, and you know what works for you. And if it works for you, then it's working. You're retaining information. So yeah, I'm going to continue probably taking a nap in the middle of the afternoon, pausing whatever video I'm on or pausing whatever thing I'm studying, because sometimes videos don't happen in the afternoon. That's just the nature of how Barbary works. Sometimes it's just like questions, and questions can get really tiring, because one thing I noticed when doing the MBE is you're reading 100 questions at a time, because you do 100 in the morning and then 100 in the afternoon, because it's 200 questions total, I think. It's a lot of reading. I just know that like after doing so many multiple choice and reading so much, I was tired. And I think part of that was because sleeping was really hard for me during the bar exam. I did not sleep well at all, and I think that was part of my problem, especially with the MBE. But yeah, sleep when you can. Sleep is so important. Sleep is important no matter what, but for me, I know that the more I sleep, the better I do. So that's all I got for you today. Don't be afraid to take a nap because it is super nice and super helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'm still waiting for someone. You don't even have to subscribe to me to like get the 10 points. I don't know what these 10 points are going to be for, but you know, who knows? Who can tell me the reference from the beginning of my videos where I say, hello, YouTube. Whoever can get that reference, you get 10 points. Don't know what those are going to be good for, but you get 10 Lauren points. So yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, if you want to know anything else. I don't have... The only thing I can say is if you want to know more about sleep stuff, I guess go watch Dr. Mike. He's really helpful with that kind of stuff. Anything medical related, really. I love him. He's a great YouTuber. Comment. Yeah, I already said that. Wow. I'm doing great today because I didn't even introduce myself. Like the video if you liked it, if you thought it was helpful. Subscribe if you want to know more. I still plan on putting a video up on Saturday about my experience studying abroad. So if you want to get notified for that, you got to hit the notification bell. I still don't know if when you subscribe to someone who is less than a certain amount of subscribers, if the notification bell even pops up. Don't know if that's even a thing. But if you subscribe, you can at least get it in your sub box, right? So like, comment, subscribe. I'm Lauren. I'm the girl who is retaking the bar exam and putting it on YouTube for everyone to see. I hope you all have a very happy week and happy holidays. I know that Hanukkah is starting next week on the 23rd and Christmas is on the 25th, so that's fun. So if you celebrate either of those holidays, I hope you have a blessed holidays. Other than that, I hope you have a good week.